Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the topic methods of determining stability. Methods of determining stability. Right. So, what are the methods to determine stability? There are several methods. There are several methods that we can use for determining our stability criteria. And the basic stability criteria is BIBO stability, means bounded input and bounded output. Means if I am getting bounded output for any bounded input, then I can say that my system is BIBO stable or simply stable. And to test this stability, I have several methods, and some of them are given here. In this unit, we'll use the methods of determining stability which are dependent on only on roots of the characteristic equation or roots of the open loop transfer function. And in the next unit, in the fifth unit, I will discuss the method of determining stability which are based on the magnitude and phase of the open loop transfer function, right? So, what are the methods of determining stability? The methods of determining stability here we will discuss. First one, Routh-Hurwitz criteria, and second one we will discuss root locus. First one is Routh-Hurwitz criteria and second one is root locus. In the both of methods, we will see here that we are uh, focusing on the relative stability. These methods give us absolute stability as well as relative stability, right? The absolute stability, which is the system is stable or not, just the statement that system is stable or not, can be determined from both of the methods. And the Routh-Hurwitz criteria gives some part of relative stability, some aspects of relative stability, some idea of relative stability, whereas root locus is more, uh, root locus focuses more than Routh-Hurwitz criteria on relative stability. What is relative stability? Relative stability means if I can identify for up to which value my system will be stable or not, or how many roots are there in the right half of S plane, or if I can find out the roots which are in the right half of S plane. These are the concerns that comes under relative stability, right? So we will discuss here these two methods, Routh-Hurwitz criteria and root locus, plot. And some more stability criteria, stability determining methods are Nyquist plot or polar plot, and fourth are Bode plot. These two methods for determining stability we will discuss in unit 5. And these two methods are based on the magnitude and phase angle of the open loop transfer function. So let's start our stability criteria method, which is Routh-Hurwitz criteria. Routh-Hurwitz criteria. And let us consider a system with characteristic equation like a naught s raised to n plus a1 s raised to n minus 1 plus dot dot plus an is equal to 0. Suppose this is our characteristic equation. Suppose this is our characteristic equation, and I have to find out whether this system is stable or not, or whether the system with this characteristic equation is stable or not. And why I am concerning on the characteristic equation only? Because if I am having a transfer function Cs over Rs, which is equal to Gs over 1 plus Gs Hs, then this 1 plus GSHS is equal to 0. That means if I am putting the denominator to 0, this becomes our characteristic equation. And this denominator gives us poles of the system. And stability criteria majorly depends on the poles of the system. It doesn't mean that there is no role of 0 on the stability. Obviously, there is a role of 0 on the stability, but majorly poles are most significant for the stability. Right? Stability is mostly dependent on the poles. Right? So, let us consider I have a characteristic equation like this. Then, first of all, I will check the condition. First of all, I will check the condition which is necessary but not sufficient for the stability. Necessary but not sufficient condition for stability. So first I will check the necessary but not sufficient condition for stability. So first one, what is the first condition? First condition says that there should be no sign change. There should be no sign change in the coefficient of characteristic equation. in the coefficients of characteristic equation. And second one is there should be no missing term. There should be no missing term. कोई मिसिंग टर्म नहीं होना चाहिए. तो ये दो कंडीशंस हैं that are necessary for stability. It means if any one of these two conditions does not satisfy, then system is absolutely unstable. But if the both conditions are satisfied, then we cannot say strictly that the system is stable. Right? If any one of these conditions does not satisfy, then I can say that the system is unstable. Right? But if both the conditions satisfy, then we cannot say strictly that the system is stable. To check the stability, again I have to come to this Raoult-Hurwitz criteria. So for any system, for any characteristic equation, first of all I have to check these two conditions, and then I will move forward to the Raoult-Hurwitz criteria. Right? Then I will move forward to the Raoult-Hurwitz criteria. So for this type of characteristic equation, I will make the Raoult table or Raoult array like first I'll write in the first row the maximum power of s, which is s power n, and in the row of s power n I'll write the coefficient of s power n, a naught. The next value in this row will be the alternate value a2. The next value will be the alternate value a4, and so on. In the next row, the next power s power n minus 1. And the elements of this row will be first the coefficient of s power n minus 1, which is a1, then alternate coefficient, which is a3, then alternate coefficient, which is a5, and so on. Now the next element, next power n minus 2, and the elements of this row can be calculated from these two rows. And how can I calculate? To calculate the first element here, I will multiply a1 to a2 and then multiply a0 to a3 and subtract these two values, and then I will divide this value by a1. It means a1 a2 minus a0 a3 divided by a1. a1 a2 minus a0 a3 divided by a1. Or if I write it as b1, then what will be b1? a1 a2 minus a0 a3 divided by a1. Now it is clear. Next value here. For this value, A1 A4 minus A0 A5, A1 A4 minus A0 A5 divided by again A1, and name it as B2. So here I will have B2, A1 A4 minus A0 A5, right? Similarly, next values I can find it here. Then s power n minus 3, s power n minus 3. For this, for the elements of this row, I'll consider these two rows. I will skip first row and I'll consider these two rows. And the process is same. Let us consider this one is C1 and this one is C2. Then what will be here? C1 will be B1 A3 minus A1 B2 divided by B1. B1 A3 minus B1 A3 minus A1 B2 divided by B1 is our C1. And what about C2? If here I am having B3, then B1 A5 minus A1 B3, B1 A5 minus A1 B3 divided by B1, and let us name it C2, and so on. I can calculate the values, calculate the elements of each row, and finally the Routh array is ready. Routh array is ready. And the RH criteria says that check the first column of RH table or Routh array. Check the first column of Routh array. And if there is any sign change, if there is any sign change in this first column, it means system is unstable. If there is any sign change in the first column of Routh array, the system is unstable. The system is unstable. If there is any sign change in this first column, then the system is unstable. And one more observation is given here, that and the number of sign change is equal to the number of characteristic equation roots lie in the right half of S plane. In the right half of S plane. S plane. Right? Means if there is any sign change in the first column of Routh array, the system is unstable, and the number of sign change in the first column is equal to the number of characteristic equation roots lie in the right half of S plane. So we know that if in a S plane, if a root lies in the right half of S plane, if a pole lie in the right half of S plane, it means system is unstable. And if all the poles lie in left half of S plane, then only the system will be stable. If any of the root lie in the right half of S plane, any of the pole lie in the right half of the S plane, the system will be unstable. Right? And if any of the pole lie on the imaginary axis, the system will be marginally stable. The system will be marginally stable. So, for the system to be marginally stable, roots must lie on the imaginary axis. Roots must lie on the imaginary axis. Right? And when the roots will lie on the imaginary axis, complex roots will lie on the imaginary axis. Here, in the Routh-Hurwitz table, in the Routh array, will find 0 either on the first place of any row or in the place of all elements in a row. Right? अगर कोई पोल या कॉम्प्लेक्स पोल आपके इमेजिनरी एक्सिस पर है तो हमें क्या मिलेगा? या तो किसी रो का पहला एलिमेंट 0 होगा या फिर सारे एलिमेंट्स किसी एक रो के 0 होंगे. इन दोनों ही केसेस में आपको क्या मिलेगा? कॉम्प्लेक्स पोल्स ऑन द इमेजिनरी एक्सिस. और अगर कोई पोल राइट हाफ ऑफ एस प्लेन में आ रहा है तब आपको क्या मिलेगा? यहां पर एक साइन चेंज. क्या मिलेगा? साइन चेंज. ठीक है. सो let us solve some examples. Let us solve some examples and understand the Routh-Hurwitz criteria from the examples. So we have characteristic equation as 2s power 4 plus s cube plus 3s square plus 5s plus 10 is equal to 0. I have this characteristic equation and I have to check out whether the system is stable or not. If the system is stable, then it is okay that system is stable, but if the system is not stable, means if the system is unstable, then I have to check out how many roots lie in the right half of S plane. How many roots lie in the right half of S plane, right? So make a routes array S power 4, S power 3, S power 2, S power 1 and S power 0 means 1. First of all, coefficient of S power 4, 2, the alternate coefficient 3, the alternate coefficient 10, right? Now, the coefficient of S power 3, here I am having 1, alternate coefficient 5 and the no coefficient is there, so the value here will be 0. Now, the first value here 1 into 3 minus 2 into 5 divided by 1. So 3 minus 10 divided by 1. So here the value is minus 7. Here 1 into 10 minus 2 into 0 divided by 1. So 10 minus 0 divided by 1, which is equal to 10. So here I am having 10. Right? And here I will have 0. Next, for this row, minus 7 into 5, 35, minus 35, minus 10 divided by minus 7, which is equal to minus 45 by minus 7. So 45 by 7, right? 45 by 7. Here all having 0 and here also 0, and here the value will be minus 7 into 0, 0, minus 45 by 7 into 10, 450 by 7 divided by, sorry, first this value minus this value. So minus 0 divided by 45 by 7 and this gives 10. So here I will have the value 10, right? Look at this Routh array, and what I tell you, after making this Routh array, I will check out the first column, only first column of this Routh array. And if there is any sign change in this first column, then the system will be unstable. So here the sign is plus, here the sign is plus, and here I will have the sign minus. And here plus, again here plus. So here I am having a sign change. Therefore, the system is unstable. Therefore, the system is unstable. Right? And how many sign changes are there? How many sign changes are there? So first sign change is here, that plus to minus, and next minus to plus. So there are two sign changes, one from plus to minus, another from minus to plus. There are two sign changes, and therefore two roots lie in the right half of S plane. we cannot find the values of these two roots from Routh-Array criteria, that which are the roots that lie in the right half of S plane. Here in this characteristic equation I am having 4 roots, and 2 of these 4 roots lie in the right half of S plane. And since there is no 0 in the first column, therefore there are not a single root which lie on the imaginary axis, right? There is not a single root lie on the imaginary axis, because there is no 0 on the first column of the Routh array, right? So let us consider, let's check out the necessary but not sufficient conditions. Necessary but not sufficient conditions. So first, there should be no sign change in the characteristic equation coefficients. Here plus, here plus, here plus, here plus, here plus, first condition satisfied. No sign changes there in the coefficients. Next condition is there should be no missing term. So I am having the coefficient for S power 4, S power 3, S power 2, S power 1 and S power 0. So there is no missing term and no sign change in the coefficients of the characteristic equation. Therefore both the conditions satisfied. Both the conditions are satisfied. And I told you, if any one of the condition does not satisfy, then strictly I can say that the system is unstable. But if both the conditions satisfy, then I cannot say that the system is strictly stable. Here both the conditions are satisfied, necessary but not sufficient conditions are satisfied, but the system is unstable. So if both the conditions are satisfied, both the necessary and sufficient conditions are satisfied, then also the system may be unstable, and that can be checked through Routh array, right? In the next class we will do some more examples, right? Thank you.